Alright, we're going to try to show how I tie the snell knot. It's a little bit different. Where my shop today, my mount's a little wobbly, but I've got 40-pound mono Andy line and 10-aught circle hook with a nice offset. I think that'll hold a bluegill nicely. Now I tie these different than what I've seen online. I go in just like that, bring it back, same hole, make a little loop, and give myself plenty to work with right there. This line's got a little memory. I haven't soaked it long enough. A trick I learned from Richard Gene: if you take your spool, take the sticker off of it, submerge it in water for about a week, you won't have as much line memory on your mono. Now you've got that loop right there. You got this. These hooks have a cut end and a loop end. That cut end is because it's cheaper to make them that way. You know, if somebody had a TIG rig and they could weld that and get that sharpness off there, they would. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to go away from that cut end and go around. Now my first pass is going to go under that loop. The loop's still there. I just went under it. Now in the same direction, keeping my loop in place and pinched, I'm going to go the same direction, nice and neat, around and around. Keep it nice and neat. This heavy line, it takes a little bit of finger strength to work it. How many loops you do is up to you, but you always want to test your knot before you put it in the fish's mouth and lose your fish. I haven't counted that how many times I've went around. You probably back the video up and check if you want to. Now, holding that tight, I'm going to take this tail end right through that little loop. See, I went through there. I'm going to go in that same direction. This line is really stiff. Go through that loop one more time. Just like that. And I'm going to pinch all that together where that doesn't come out. I'm going to grab this end. Start pulling. First, moisten it. That's a little bit of water. I'm not spitting on it like normal. Some water on there. Pull that up. That makes that little loop go tight around that little tail. Don't hook yourself. Now, I'm gonna grab your tail. I have pliers here. I should have been more prepared. It's always good to have some good pliers to grip with. You don't want to ever put pliers on your running end, because you can cause a little nick. See that little tail? Hold that tail nice and tight. Now, the difference between this and most snell knots, I don't have a long loop on the outside of my wraps. My main line is coming straight out of the eye, and I've got a nice neat stack of wraps, but this knot's not done. Before I cut that tail end off, I'm going to set this with some weight. I've got an eye on my table here. Move the camera a little bit. That eye's a little screw hook. I'm going to put the hook around that. Now, like I said, I don't want to squeeze it with pliers because that's not good. So I'm going to wrap my main line. I got a little chunk of cedar wood here. I'm going to wrap that a few times. That way I don't put any pinch in my line. This isn't the testing part. This is the cinching down. This is what you do when you're not on your boat. You see that move? It cinched it down nice and tight. You're gonna put some good pressure on that. It's a 40-pound line. It's still cinching nice and tight. Alright. Now we don't have any bad kinks in that line. No nicks. Now, really sharp cutters. I'm gonna trim that up. I'm still gonna leave a little bit. Now my loop is up inside there. And if you know anything about knots, what's called locking bars, this has several locking bars, but very few pinches. So that will give you the capacity of your line. Now, let's kick this up a notch. I've got heat shrink. I've got multicolored heat shrink. Let's find some that fits. Of course, I've been doing a lot of boat repairs, so I've dumped these out many times. Let's see if that red will go on there. Yeah, but we don't need that much, so we'll cut some off. I don't know if this heat shrink is going to affect the line by heating it, so we're going to test it. Put that right through the hook like that. And we're going to let's cover the whole eye, just like that. That way, rocks, sticks, anything hits that, it's not going to compromise the knot. So, got my handy heat gun here. I'm going to put it on the low setting. I'm going to try to stay off the line as much as possible and not burn my hand. A little at a time. I'm trying to make it waterproof, just kind of put a little protective coating on it. I usually use super glue, but I don't know where it is at the moment. So that is shrinking down nicely. Still trying to stay off the line. Oh yeah, look at it forming around that eye. Those little kickback eyes give it that lever action. These are nice offset hooks. They're from Custom Offshore Tackle. It's a 10-aught 25 count package I got from eBay. Okay, I'll lay that where it's not going to catch anything on fire. And we have this nice shrink wrapped hook. So we're going to put it back on our little hook right there. Take a little piece of cedar block from another project. Wrap that a few times. You don't want to try this with your fingers because you will get what's like a paper cut, but a lot worse. So I'm going to give that some pull. I know it's all still hot. Yes, that's holding some pressure. That will not pull out of the fish's mouth. Let's cool that off. That's warm. I like these little magnetic bowls that you can do anything with. You get them really cheap from Harbor Freight. And that is a rig you don't have to worry about. Your failure point can be somewhere else. It's not going to break right here. Y'all have a nice day. Like and subscribe. Thank you.